Hi guys, welcome back again to this channel and this great community. Big welcome to anyone that's newly subscribed here. I hope you get good value from the content and great support. You'll definitely get great support from the subscribers here. They really know their stuff and they're very helpful, and they really reach out to people when they're in distress or just have general questions on, from people that are maybe further down along the line on recovery. So today I'd like to talk about the amazing tool that the internet is for narcissists. There's two particular features that narcissists use. One is Facebook and the other is all online dating apps. You'll find they're nearly subscribed to every online dating app going. It's been a huge bonus to them, because in days gone by they would have to operate in a smaller community and they couldn't move around as quickly, because in smaller communities they were going to be more exposed more easily, so they had to either move location or keep their deeds and destructive patterns as under wrap as possible. So now, with the advent of internet access, it's upped their supply in a safer way. They have to use less energy to get the supply, and it's made them more covert, because they can keep hidden by going on the internet, and they get a lot of supply from the internet, so they can keep their eating habits, is what I'm going to call this, their eating habits more covert and more under control in our society today. The way I'd kind of approach it would be that, so narcissists don't develop emotionally, and they don't learn how to look after their own needs. They don't separate initially from their caregiver. So as a young child, they're getting everything from their caregiver. And instead of that being a natural process where they separate and learn how to supply their own needs, their own emotional needs, and grow an identity and learn to be a separate individual, they just go from the caregiver to another person to get their needs met, and so on and so on and so on until they become an adult. And I just call it, I know it's called fuel on these channels, but let's just call it food for want of a better term. They get their emotional needs or food from different supply sources. So they're going to have, after they leave the parent, they're going to, when they go into adult life, they're going to take on a romantic partner. And this partner is going to supply their main meals, the main meals of the day. And they'll have other food coming in from various secondary sources and tertiary sources and just strangers. So they get fuel from a lot of different people, but their main meals are gotten from the romantic partner, usually. Now, even with that, their supplies are always up and down, because obviously people don't stay the same. So they can't just plug into one supply and expect it to be the same all the time, because they come in with their abuse cycles, and the person, you, don't give them the supply you gave them maybe initially in the love bombing stage. So they have to keep their supply at a certain level, because if it drops down too much, they're in danger of having to look at their true selves. So the defense mechanism of narcissism means that they have to keep their ego functions at a certain level. So the supply has to be at a certain level. So in order to do this, the internet has provided them with a great tool. When one supply level from their main source is lowering, maybe you're setting boundaries or you've caused a narcissistic injury, unwittingly or wittingly, they need to maintain their supply, and they go online to do this. I don't know if you've found this with the narcissist or the narcissist you've been with in the past, but their phone is like glued to them. It's like a third hand. I found it extraordinary that someone who is quite a lot older than, say, a teenager would be so obsessed with their phone and its whereabouts. They never went anywhere without their phone. And even if you were in bed at night and they had to use the restroom or the bathroom, the phone would go with them and would stay in there for a very long time. Whatever they were doing in there, I don't know, but they had their phone with them. So if you guys found that, please let me know. I find all this really, really fascinating. But what they were doing on their phone was obtaining supply. So the two ways that they obtain supply is, one is Facebook. Facebook's fantastic for managing their image. It's a real PR tool for the narcissist. And we all know, we've seen, once discarded, or if we've discarded them, we've all seen that happy smiling face and this perception that the narcissist has moved on to this wonderful, fantastic life that he couldn't have with you because, there was so much wrong with you. No. So they look like they're having this fantastic life from snapshots. You've no idea what happened before that snapshot or what happened after it. But for the snapshot, they're smiling away and they look like the world is their oyster. 2 seconds later, they could be depressed and sitting on their own for hours and hours and without money or feeling awful. But for that snapshot on Facebook, they give the perception that they're either a very sporty person, a family person, a very happy person, discovering a whole new life person, going on holiday person, a rich person. None of it could be true. Some of it could be true, none of it could be true. But the narcissists love Facebook, or fake book as some people call it. Facebook is fine just to have fun with. It's great for family and friends. I'll have to say I enjoy it sometimes myself, but the narcissists use it as a tool, a big tool to deceive people. The second thing they use, and this is quite obnoxious and it's quite dangerous, is online dating. I'll give you my personal experience. The narcissist that I was with before he came to me had a relationship, a 2 or 3 month relationship with someone he met on Tinder on holiday. The minute that he discarded me, from what I hear, and he actually told me himself at one stage, he was back on Tinder again and some other dating apps, and they use this for a transitional supply, but they use it all the time. It's a backup. It's like the online dating apps are like snacks. When the food supply, when the meals we're giving them are a little bit not providing the fuel that they need to get to this level, they'll use online dating to snack on to bring the food levels, supply levels up. So that they have you here performing at maybe 0.75% of what you did in the love bomb, and then they've about 3 or 4 snacks that they're entertaining on the online dating app, giving them the supply to bring it to the level they need. And then if they're on their phone a lot on the online dating app, their supply can be shooting up quite a lot and their requirement from you is lower down. And at that stage, they're making the assessment as to whether they need to go to leave you, put you way down there and go elsewhere for their supply. If they feel that they can maintain that supply level by what they found online, then that can be a precursor for the discard. So online dating, there's loads of narcissists on it because it's a fantastic way, a very safe way to see what's out there. The narcissists like to keep their options open, as we all know. They do not at any stage want to be caught short of supply. They can use all the tricks of their trade online because there's no accountability. They can pretend to be who they want to be. They can ghost people online after maybe, say, 2 or 3 months building a relationship with them. They can actually, one of the most important and the most dangerous things they do is with the online dating is they target someone they engage them, and they present a wonderful life. They present whoever, again, they can love bomb online, they'll mirror the person online. They'll engage them to a certain emotional level. They'll present themselves as being a fantastic person. I know we all try and put our best side forward, and certainly you would on an online dating site, but the narcissist has this down to a T. So they present as this amazing person. They get you to an emotional level whereby you're emotionally invested in the relationship continuing beyond the online dating stage, and you're interested in meeting and taking it further. This is extremely dangerous for us, extremely dangerous, because we've no point of reference. Everything we see is just what the person online wants you to see, the photograph they want you to see, the job they present that they may or may not have, the characteristics that they may or may not have. There's no point of reference, like you would say go into a sports club and you'd have feedback from other people around you. You'd see how a person interacts with other people. There's so many things you can pick up from a live situation with someone. So much information that your intuition and your brain and your past experiences all compute to give you an impression of who this person is and what their past may have been. If they have friends coming up and family around, you get a much greater impression of the person before you're invested emotionally. So online, you become invested with the person emotionally without having these points of reference. So you then meet them, and they lower your expectations slowly. So they may have had this brilliant job online, and by the time you meet them, they're bringing you down online to saying, I had to leave this job because it was a bit, difficult or whatever. And then by the time you're about to meet them, they've resigned that job and they're looking for another job. It's really dangerous because they may not ever have had the job that they said they had online, but when they're coming to meet you, they just happened at the same time to have resigned from that job. I know you get me, guys. You know where this is going. And the same with anything else that they purport to be or to do online. When they get to meet you, so they're slowly lowering your expectations coming up to the meeting point. You're emotionally invested when you actually meet them. So you tend to want to overlook anything that doesn't actually add up to what they said online. And they bring you down slowly so that you're still emotionally invested. They love bomb you hugely then when they actually meet you in person. And they've got you hooked. They hooked you online. So they fished you online. They can also have about 3 or 4 people online that they're working on, that they're grooming and conditioning for the meeting. And they may meet 2 people at the same time. God knows they could meet 3 or 4 people at the same time. It's very difficult to know the true life of a narcissist without actually riding on their shoulder and being with them 24/7. But we know from patterns, we know from experience, we know from what we've heard, we know from each other that they're notorious for carrying this evil emptiness inside them. And this kind of code of conduct is what they do. It's the demon that they have within them, or that's attached to them, whatever way you want to put it. But this is what they do. So they're optimizing their options, and they do this online. So for us, for you, it's an extremely hazardous place to go. I know some people meet and make happy relationships from online dating. I would say that that's, in my opinion, more of a rarity than the majority of experiences people have. So be very, 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 very careful. If you're thinking of going online dating, I would highly recommend against it in today's society, in today's world. On the upside, I'd like to finish on an upside. I forgot to say to you that the narcissist, after I was discarded, had gone on Tinder, and what they do like to do is come back to you. And what the narcissist did on my occasion was he came back and said that he had gone on to online dating because he needed a distraction, and he had met someone, and they may or may not be friends. They may take it further, but he didn't quite know yet. So that is a disgusting thing to say to someone that you've cruelly discarded, that they matter so little to you, that you were just going to replace them immediately, and then to taunt them with the fact that even though there was absolutely nothing wrong with them and the relationship was really good, you're just going to go dating again. Like, this is lunatic stuff. I always say it in the videos, it's lunatic stuff. Don't normalize if it's happening to you. If something like that's happened to you, stand back and say, this is way out there. This is not what everybody does. This is crazy. This person has no empathy, no emotion. Nothing they had with you was real if they can go and do something in this cold manner and then actually triangulate you with their new online dating. It wasn't new, it was going on all the time. But if they can then try and cause the person that they said they loved, if they can go back to that person and tell them what they were doing and actually do something like that, that is demonic, it's evil, it's stupid, it's crazy, and it's not what everybody does. So don't normalize it. Everybody does not do that kind of thing. And someone says to you, oh, well, men are like that, or women are like that, you know, they just kind of do that in general. No, they don't. Don't listen to people that say those kind of things. They don't do that. A healthy woman or a healthy man takes quite a long time. First of all, doesn't discard someone in an appalling, abominable way. And secondly, they do not go on to another relationship really quickly. They take time to recover, to grieve, to get back to themselves. And at some stage, maybe even 6 months down the line, you know, that they can consider if they've really been emotionally involved in a relationship, a long-term relationship with someone else. They don't just hop on to a new person and replace the person they've been with. So guys, I've been on long enough. I want to end this on a positive note. Yes, the internet's been fantastic for the narcissist, online dating, Facebook, and everything else they get up to in a deceptive manner behind your back. The plus side is we are on the internet. YouTube, anti-narcissism videos, we're on the internet. So we're coming at them. They've been coming at us for quite a long time. We're not coming at them. And I believe that we can nip this in the bud. I believe we can make it really uncomfortable for them to play their tricks. We're wising up, we're coming against them, and we're actually going to overtake them. We are going to overtake them. We're going to put the word out. So do your bit. Consider subscribing, if not to this channel, to other channels. Hit up or down, more ups please, and comment. I'd love to know about the phone thing. Did your narcissist keep their phone with them? Were they fascinated by their phone? Were they always playing games on their phone, even though it seemed quite probable that they weren't? Let me know how your narcissist or your ex-narcissist interacted with their phone. I would love to hear it. Guys, have a great day. I will be back soon. Take care of yourselves in the meantime. Bye.